Hi, today we're going to install and take a look at the DeeZee Tailgate Assist. This is one of my favorite accessories. In fact, it's the second one I've put on this truck. Unfortunately, the first one broke after about 2 years of use, but I don't really mind putting another one on. At less than 50 bucks, it's not that expensive of an accessory, and it's probably the most useful accessory I've put on my truck. Let's take a look at what happened with the old one. The old one broke right where the ball socket connects into the tailgate. The assist shock itself was actually quite rusted as well, so I'm going to replace everything as if this was a brand new installation, not leaving any of the parts from the original. I'm expecting the hardest part of the install is going to be removing this old bushing in the tailgate. This is the bushing, the socket that the shock screws into, and I think I'm going to have to drill this out in order to put the new one in. I'm also going to replace this sticker that comes here as a protector so that the shock doesn't scratch up your tailgate. Removing that existing bushing did require a drill, and as you can see, the paint's a little scratched up around here, so I'm going to touch that paint up before I install the new one. Before we go any further with the installation, let's take a look at what comes in the kit. We have the assist shock, and then the accessory kit. We have installation instructions, some blue Loctite, a small bushing that slides over the cable to prevent it from binding, a wrench for removing your tailgate mounting bracket and installing the new one. This is the bushing that had rusted out and broke off in the old one. We've got a new one of those with some installation, with an installation tool built into it, and the bracket that the shock mounts to at the top. And lastly, this is the ball that the bottom side of the shock mounts into. So, to get started with the installation, we're going to go ahead and remove the old bracket up here so we can install the new one. If you were installing this brand new on your truck, you would follow the same process for this step. Now that I've taken the cable off the truck, I'm going to slide the new ball mount plate over top of the cable, put a little bit of the blue thread locker on there, and reinstall that into the truck. Alright, now that part's done. So you can see here, I did go ahead and touch up the slot where the old ball mount came out of. Now I've got the new ball mount here, and it's set up to go from the washer to the head of the bolt, and set to 3/4 of an inch. And I've also marked the end of the nut with a little bit of paint. Let me see if I can get that in focus here for you. There we go. I've marked the head of it with a little bit of paint so you can see the number of turns when you're tightening this up. So we'll insert this right into this slot here on the side of the tailgate. And now, using an Allen wrench and a 10mm opened end wrench, we're going to count 9 turns to tighten this down. It's 2. 9. Now that I've counted 9 turns, I'm just going to do a little check and see if it feels tight. And everything feels tight. So now we can move on to removing the screw. To do that, we'll just use the Allen wrench, loosen it up, and take it out. The threaded insert's in place, ready to mount the ball. Okay, again, I'm going to be using a 13mm wrench and a small amount of thread locker. To install the ball into this socket. So we'll put it in there, get it started, and snug that up with the 13mm wrench. Now the next step, if you had a factory setup, would be to remove this, and there's a limiter that stops the travel of the cable. Take a look at the instructions here. That's the limiter shown here in the instructions. Since I've already put one of these on once, I've already removed that, so I don't have to worry about it. So my next step is going to be to install this cable clamp. And that slides onto the cable here and helps protect the cable from binding or getting caught up into the assist shock when the tailgate's opening and closing. So I'll get that snapped on and be right back. Now that the cable clamp's been installed up here at the top, I'm going to install a new piece of the protective mylar film on the side of the tailgate. The installation kit comes with one large piece of mylar plastic to protect the paint. I cut it into 3 pieces and installed one piece of the mylar here, and the other 2 pieces of mylar were installed over here along the edge of the light to protect that area. Now we're on the final step of the installation, and that's to install the assist strut. The large end attaches at the top, and the bottom end will attach to the tailgate. So I'll take the top end, line it up with the ball, and press it on. Take the short end, stretch it out, line it up with the ball that's been installed on the tailgate, and snap it on. And that's it. The installation is complete. We'll just take a quick look here at the installation. You can see the strut's attached up here at the top and attached down here at the bottom. And that's it. The strut's only attached on one side of the tailgate, but it still does a great job of stopping the tailgate from slamming when it opens and closes. Now that the installation is complete, let's take a look at the assist strut in action. Closing the tailgate, you don't really feel any difference from the factory tailgate without the assist strut. But opening the tailgate, you have a nice smooth opening motion, which is great, especially when my kids open the tailgate or when I've got my hands full loading firewood for camping, I can just pop that lever open and let it drop down nice and smooth. Again, not much of a difference closing, but a nice smooth opening motion. Well, that about wraps up the installation of the DeeZee Tailgate Assist on my 2015 Ram 3500. Like I said, this is the second one I've put on this truck, and I had the first one for about 2 years. It got quite a bit of use, so I think it did pretty good, and I don't mind replacing it. It's available for many other makes and models, so if you take a look in the video description below, I've linked to the one for my truck on Amazon, but I'm sure you can find yours there too. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you would like to watch another one of my videos, just click or tap the screen over here. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. I'll see you again soon.